Hey crafty babes, we are going to do a super fun mixed media project today. So we're gonna get a little messy. We're gonna use some really fun products like paints and acrylic markers and all kinds of different household things to make different patterns. And I've got a color palette because we're gonna use the colors from my April Basics kit that is available at Hey Scrapper. We are then going to take what we make on this piece of paper and make it into something. Like we're gonna have a purpose for using what we've made. And I've got 3 really cool ideas for you, so let's get started. So let's first talk about some supplies that you might want to gather up if you're gonna do this alongside me, which I think you should because it's going to be so fun. Okay, so I don't have any paper plates, so I'm going to use one of my paper divider trays to put my paint colors in when I'm ready to use them. That way I can just throw it away. I've got some of these acrylic paints, so I just got these are super old. I mean, I've had these for years. A couple of these are new because I was doing a specific project. But I just grabbed all the colors that I thought would be a good match. So you can decide on whatever color palette you want, grab your paints. I picked up these acrylic markers. I've never used acrylic markers before, but of course I saw them on Instagram and I was immediately like, please add these to the cart. And I picked 5 colors that will go great with this palette. Each has a nice here, let me see if I can show you against the white paper. You'll see how these work too when I play with them. There's a kind of a fine tip, and then there's like a thicker tip that's great for dotting. Let me see if I can show you the difference there, how you can see how thick that is. Okay, so then we're gonna be using these. We're also going to be using stamps. So I just grabbed a bunch of different stamps that I think would be great to use. I'm also going to use the black StazOn because I think it's going to be the best option to stamp on top of all of the different things. I also have an old credit card, like a gift card kind of thing, because we're going to use it to smear, like old school, smear the paint. And then I have a couple of, like I said, household things that are gonna make some different patterns. So I've got some bubble wrap. I was hoping I had a smaller version of bubble wrap, but this is all that I have. And then I cut off a little piece of some of that drawer liner, and I think this would be something fun. And so we'll use a couple of these things. We're gonna just make a whole kind of a messy situation here. So I really don't have a plan as far as like what it's going to look like. So we're just going to kind of go with it together, and I'm gonna walk you through it and then show you what you can do with a page like this afterwards. So I'm going to start by putting my paint out. Now let me grab a paintbrush. Really, this is just kind of to help some of the paint come out because, like I said, this paint is old, and I'm not really sure how good of quality it's going to be, but we're just going to be using small amounts. Again, we're kind of doing this together for the first time. I think I'll definitely need my wipes, so you might want to prep to have either some wipes or like a cup of water nearby. I don't know that I can pour, and then I won't be able to get it back in here. So let's hold off on trying anything different there. I definitely want to use some of this. I want to use these 2 oranges because look at how perfect this like orangey peach is, and then this blood orange. So I think they go really, really well. I'm gonna see if I can get some of this out. Oh, that's not as thick as the blue, so that's good. And really, I don't need much because I want to be able to have room for all kinds of different colors. I don't want it to be too much just all about one of the colors. And be prepared to get messy, so not very easy for me to do, but I'm actually really excited about this project because I haven't done something like this in a long time. That might be too much pink, but it's okay. I want to do the base of this a little bit on the lighter side. This one's going to be really thick. I think I used it recently and it's like really gelatinous. And I don't have any like paint thinner or anything like that. For this one, I think I'm just going to pop it in here. Let me there, that's good. And then I want to use this brown for sure. I'll see if I can link these. These are old from Target. I think this Mondo Llama was the more recent version that Target was selling, but always go to Michael's and check their, Walmart even has, I got these at Walmart, I'm pretty sure. This has some extra colors inside, so let me clean that out. This is not the greatest sweatshirt to wear. Keeps falling. Okay, we've got the brown. Good, good, good. For some reason, I got some blue going on in there. Must have done a project and then got mixed up. And yes, I'm using a different wipe for every color because it's just too messy to try in any other way. And then let me get some of this lighter orange, but I think I have to open this one up. Did I already? Must have already used it. I just, I thought I grabbed the one that I had already opened. Apparently I did not. There is an air show going on near my house, so you might hear airplanes. Oh my goodness, there we go. I'm gonna put this one in with the other orange and we'll make that work. Okay, we've got all our paints out. I want to start. So I am using just my favorite cardstock here. This is just, actually, it's technically a cover stock. And I've painted on this before. It's good to go. So let's start out with just a couple of, I guess you just call them like a schmear. So we'll just take some paint on the end of this card and then just like do this kind of thing. And we're gonna still have the rules of design apply, like triangles and spreading the color around. Ultimately, what we're trying to do is just make one major colorful piece. And so you wanna just make sure that you're not concentrating too much of the color in just one spot. So let's go in. I think I want to go in with the brown and do the same kind of technique in a few of the different places and maybe a few different directions around. And maybe overlapping just a smidge like I did here is totally okay. I think maybe a little right here. That's fun. Clear that off. Okay, let's do, now that we've got kind of like, we've got this little base, let's start going in with some of our texture. So I think I'm just gonna like roll it like this and hold it like this and see if I can pick up some of the paint like this. Let's start with the light blue. Kind of dab some of it off and see. Hey, that's cool. So feel free to look around your house. I like to use paper towel also because it's got that texture to it. I might go grab some. You could also like, let me see if I can like roll it a little. Make it a little thicker. That's fine, that's nice. But then you can just throw this away. It's okay, you know, to just use a little corner or piece of something. But also, I think I want to do it with another color. So I'm going to fold it and try to avoid that blue. And then just see if I can maybe get some of this, maybe just in a smaller section, and do some of this bright. Okay. And let's make sure when we're doing this that we are going over the edge. So I'll show you some different ways to do that. I tend to forget that, so I wanted to kind of remind you that we want to go all the way to the edge for this. Okay, let's do this bigger one. I think I'm probably going to need an actual a larger paintbrush to paint onto this. And let me actually cut a smaller, more manageable piece. And I might go back in with, actually, let's do this lighter orange. Oh, you know what? When I cut it, it cut into the, it cut the air out of the bubbles. I thought they were going to be a little individual, but that's okay. Okay, so what we'll do with this is we're just going to kind of do like the plastic, and it's too thick. This didn't work out the way I wanted it. I think I'm going to hold off. Let me kind of smear this one so that it's not so thick. Okay, this didn't work. If you have bubble wrap, don't cut it because you'll lose all the bubble definition. Okay, let me grab paper towel. So when I use the paper towel, I kind of just crumple it first and then kind of just smush it around, grab a little bit from the middle. So I think with this one, let's go with the lighter pink again, because I've got kind of like a larger area here where I can daub it also. So we're going to try to get into some of the empty spots, and we want to kind of try to fill up some spots. And overlapping is cool. And even like if sometimes you feel like maybe you're you know, you've got some colors that maybe are too bright or too saturated or whatever, you can always like lighten it up by dabbing a little something lighter. That's a good trick. Okay, I like where we're going so far. The browns are, you know, feeling a little saturated. So I want to tone them down a little bit. Let's do a I could do a white because that would be a little wetter, but there isn't much texture. Ooh, this looks fun. What if we did a little, or if I put it on here, I could do like, let me try to paint some orange onto this and see if I can just get that simple impression. That's pretty cool. Let me get a little more paint on there. I might do this with the blue. That's cool. It's backwards, but I mean, who cares? Who really cares? And what I love about acrylic paints is that they wash right off. And this is a vintage ruler, so I definitely love protecting it, but look how easy that is to just get off. And if I wanted to run it under the water in the sink or something, I could totally do that. You're really just looking for anything around your space that would provide some texture or a pattern or anything. I even love using like the end of an eraser to like do nice dots, but we've got these acrylic pens that we're going to be using for some of that dotting. So I do still want to tone down the brown. I'm going to grab another paper towel. Another thing we could do, I don't want to get things too wet, but we could do, like, if we were to wet this, we could flick some colors on. I'm gonna tone down the browns first with the light blue, and then I'm gonna go in, I think, and throw in a little bit of the blood orange and the peacock blue. So let's see. That's feeling nice. And it's okay if you get, you know, just make sure you're on a surface that you don't mind getting dirty for a little bit. Acrylic, like I said, it's so easy to clean up. And as you get more impressions down, it'll become nice and light. So, you know, it's not as thick, because at some point we got to let this dry. Okay, I feel like I can go in with the pink on top of the brown for just a little extra coverage. I kind of want it a little thicker, I think. Oh, and you know what always makes a nice work of art? Dog hair. Really does. And I may have covered that up a little bit too much, but that's okay. We're gonna have plenty of color. Okay. We are gonna have to let this dry for the next couple of things that we're gonna do. But what we can do is talk about what else is coming next. So the next thing that I would wanna do is do some stamping. So this basically provided just a colorful foundation. And then we're gonna go through with different kinds of stamps. You can totally do a theme if you wanted, like if you wanted to do a spring theme or something summery or something about, I don't know, school or something like that. You could totally theme up your stamp collection to, you know, give yourself some sort of theme like that. But I don't want to do that necessarily, because I want the final products that we're going to use here to be more universal. I just want them to be more of a color theme, which is the whole purpose of the basics kit that we're kind of basing this color off of, is so that you can kind of put your own theme to things. I'm not forcing you into using a certain theme for this kit. So I just wanted to have, I wanted to kind of make my own supplies, which that's what we're doing today, is we're making our own supplies. So let's let this dry a little bit. We'll come back and get some stamping done. Okay, we are back. We are dry and we're ready to stamp. Like I said, we're just going to use generic things, shapes, patterns, just even numbers if you want, words if you want, totally anything goes. I'm gonna start with just some larger impressions, I guess, larger stamps, because I want to take up some space, and then we can go in and fill in the extra spaces. So with these, this is part of the process that you can start maybe going over the edge a little bit more. So we're just gonna stamp. We're gonna just get to it. And we're gonna go right over the inks and the paint. And if you do get any paints, like if any parts are still wet and get on your stamps, obviously you can use your wipes. And then I think maybe I'll do another one here at the top. Okay, the wipes do actually work pretty good on when they're solid. I want to use this floral, and I want to use this stamp cluster. And I definitely want to use some of these borders. So I'm going to get out some stuff. I like these pluses and the newspaper. Okay. What's super cool about this kind of project is it just really is so messy that it just doesn't matter. It's great. Okay, let's get in here. Now you don't have to use the black ink. You can use any of the colors that match your palette. It doesn't matter. But I just like the black because it's going to add contrast that we just didn't have. And you can reuse, you see, like how I reused the one stamp. We're going to be reusing a lot of these pieces over and over in different places. And like you can do the second generation stamping so that it's a little bit lighter also. If you've still got ink, even a smidge, you can pop it on the page. I never did do anything with the darker blue, but we're gonna go in with the paint pens, so I'm not worried about that. I want this one. We're just making a mess. Okay, as you can see, you can easily just go. Like you can easily just stamp forever. I want to bring in some of the acrylic pens. So we're gonna like dot and star, and we'll just kind of see what happens here. But what I love about these paint pens is they actually dry real fast. I was a little unsure about them bleeding through, and I actually did a whole markup on this paper, this exact paper, and it was not showing through. It's like, because it's paint, it sits right on top. It doesn't, you know, soak in. It's really nice. Let's go with this darker orange. I don't have much of this. And we're just playing. It really, you know, it's not like just throwing color around, honestly. No one's ever gonna know if you think you put something in the wrong place. Just kind of going all over. And I want to do a little bit more of the dark blue. Let's dot a little bit more with the larger side. Just kind of throwing it in there. That's fun. Okay, I want to go in with the brown because it was a nice brown, but not, I mean, we have a lot of brown. But I just love the way that they dry, and I'm not great with doodling, I'll be honest. I get weird about it, but like, that's fun. Just like little marks. Yeah, feels weird, but it's fun. Okay, so I got some of the blue in. We got a little bit more orange, and this is great. This is so great. Okay, there are 3 things that we're gonna do at this point. So you are gonna need a couple extra supplies if you have them. Okay, grab your paper trimmer, and then grab a couple of circle punches. Whatever sizes you have, be totally fine. Okay, so before we do anything to this, the very first thing we want to do is take a photo. So we're gonna go into a good light, go straight over top, and just get as much of it in frame as possible. Make sure you're nice and level, make sure it's focused. I'm gonna go in a little bit. I left some room on the outside, but you can see that I got one here with it all to the edges, and then I got another one so that I could crop it in any way that I wanted. Okay, so now we've got our photo. The next thing we're gonna do is we are gonna just make our own shapes so that we can make cards or die cuts. So I'm gonna cut two 3x4s out of this. I think that's what I want to do. I'm gonna cut from the top because I like this area up here a lot. So we're gonna go to 4 and cut a couple 3x4s across the top. I want to include that on the side, so I'm gonna go this way. And this is gonna be one. This could be another card right here. So look, we've got 2 3x4 cards right here. How fun, like how fun is just that on its own? That is so much fun. Here's another one. I'm gonna use this for scraps. I'm gonna cut another 3x4 from the center because why not? It's fun. Actually, I might go, no, I don't need. I'm gonna cut some smaller pieces like for my smaller photos that match my smaller photos. They are 2 by 2, nope. What size are they? Yeah. They're basically 2 by 3, 2 by 2 and 3/4. Okay, 2 3/4 across the top, and then 2 inches. I like this side, it's nice. That's why we like things hanging off the edge, because I mean, that's just so cute. This one's going to be so great too. I just love it. It's so cool. So we'll just do a couple more from this section. If we go 2 across here, and then we go 2, we might be able to trim off here. I'm going to trim this to the edge and then go 2 from here. That's super cool. Okay, now we have this big page full of scraps, and this one too. Is that? Okay, got it. Okay, so I'm just gonna start punching. And you can, what's cool is when you go upside down, you can see what you're punching through. So I'm getting like just a little bit of everything. I'm gonna go bigger on that one. Let's get some of this over here. Ooh, I like that. Okay, let's leave some room for the big boy. That is so cool. This would actually be really fun in a small, and you could go, I've got them in between, like a 1.5. And if you've got a tab punch, you can use your tab punch too. So you could go, actually this would be better if it was the opposite way. Sometimes you just have to cheat a smidge so that you can get what you want. I wanted to make sure I got that "and" in there. Oh, I like this part with the stars here. Come on. And let's go for the medium size and punch out a bunch of this stuff. Again, sometimes you just have to manipulate a little bit and cut some of the stuff out. I really want to get home in here like that. And you just end up with just such cool combinations. Oh, look at that with the speech bubble and the days of the week. I got this star here. I think that's it. I don't know. I kind of like the kind of love it here part. So let me get that with the tab punch. As much as I can. I'm missing a little bit of the edge there. I'm not going to be able to make it. That's okay. I can try to get love it here or love it. There, we can get love it. Doesn't matter what else it says. And there we have it. We had all that paper, and now we have all of these shapes. And the third thing, the reason why I had you take a photo of it, is because you could make digital wallpaper from your own art. You can put it on your wall. You could put it on your phone. You could share it with someone. It's got a ton of uses. Now that it's digital, you can even print out the whole thing and just reuse it and do anything else with it that you want. But I just thought this was so fun. Haven't done this in a long time, and I was looking through some of my older Instagram posts and projects and came across several things that I wanted to redo. This is one of them. Here is the original. So it's basically just the same thing that we did. We made a background with paint and then stamped all over it. Now, I think I just threw this in a notebook or something. I don't remember if I did anything with this after, but I knew that I couldn't just do a mixed media page with you. I had to give you something else to do with it. And I have typically taken, like when a sheet like this, when my stamp off sheet like this gets too full, like I will just go through and make shapes out of them like this, so that then I just can pop this onto a page, and now you've got a customized embellishment, customized card, and you have made it yourself. So I hope that you girls have had a great time. Thank you for joining me, and I will talk to you later.